think we need to target waste creation at its source. Does every single little thing need to be individually wrapped? I don't think so. Some things, yes, for hygiene and sanitation purposes. We should move towards along the lines of extended producer responsibility or product stewardship, and getting producers of products to actually make their product design more environmentally friendly, use less packaging, and then also handle it once it's done, be able to take it back to reuse it or recycle it in some way.
Well, you know what I really like in British Columbia is our extended producer responsibility laws. You know, when the composting program was brought in Nova Scotia, which has been quite successful, you know, the people in British Columbia looked at that and said, well, you know, maybe we can even deal with the problem at the other end. Maybe we can get producers to be more responsible for the products that they produce. And I think that the language in that legislation is quite good. It needs to be better, and the speed that it's actually being implemented is woefully too slow. But you know, by and large, I think it's actually quite positive. And the commitments that have been made around zero waste at the regional level are actually quite positive too. Unfortunately, you know, this incineration thing is just completely derailing all of that. All of a sudden, all the staff time that should be going into improving recycling, improving extended producer responsibility, is going into incineration. So, you know, I think right now things are okay. They're not good. They're not sustainable. You know, big improvements need to be made. But, you know, really we're at a crossroads where we could either move in the right direction or the wrong direction. And unfortunately, I feel like we're moving aggressively in the wrong direction unless the general public comes out and says no.
We all have environmental skeletons in our closet, even the environmentalists. I do recycle.
In the past, I always thought like after 3 hours. I always thought that reuse was the hardest thing of the three to do, because a lot of things are designed so specifically for one purpose only. We live in a society today that really encourages the production of waste. You know, things like constantly changing fashions, and you know, it just encourages us to buy more and more things, which in return induces us to throw away more and more things.
There's a large push to not use disposable bags anymore when you're at a Safeway, for example. So bringing your own reusable bag will help. Coffee cups. There are so many coffee cups produced in the city of Vancouver. I love my coffee in the morning, but it's very important to bring your own mug. All my beverage containers, take them back to an Encore facility. They also take electronics now, milk jugs.
But in reality, the reduction in emissions are caused by the changes in actions of people in the valley, by buying less emitting automobiles, by changing our commuting habits, by cycling more, by walking by foot more, by commuting in non-polluting ways, and simply by changing many small aspects of our lifestyle. Those changes are really important, and they're an amazing achievement of the citizens and residents of this valley.
A couple examples. Well, you know, here's one right here. You know, if you carry around something that is refillable, you don't have to use a coffee cup or you know, bottled water. You know, one of the #1 things that's in landfills is bottles of water. You know, reusable bags. I mean, these are the kinds of things that everybody is sort of familiar with, but you know, we could get a lot better at it. And some of these problems could be dealt with better materials that you know are more easily compostable or recyclable. But at the end of the day, there is some responsibility on us to make the right kind of choices and to act responsibly. You know, there are simple things like this, but there's also kind of bigger picture things as well, like you know, the way that our homes are built. You know, if people are thinking about buying a new home, you know, are we looking at a home that can easily be taken apart again? Are we looking at a home that is an old home, or building a whole new one? You know, so there are these bigger purchases in our lives as well. Are you buying a new car? Are you buying a used car? Are you buying new clothing, or are you buying used clothing? So, and it doesn't have to be an unattractive sort of thing. It doesn't have to be about, you know, feeling bad and only riding your bike all the time. You know, I mean, it's really about how can we have the best quality of life possible. And I think a lot of these solutions to our waste issues are actually very much tied to good quality of life. You know, if we spend less of our time, you know, consuming and disposing of things, and more of our time, you know, engaging in community and being part of a community, you know, and doing things that aren't just about consumption and disposal, you know, I think we'll actually all be better off in the long run.
I mean, a huge thing is just, it's a different frame of mind. It's going into every day thinking, how can I reduce the amount of waste that I'm producing? And if that means that you bring water in a metal bottle from home, or you bring your own stainless steel coffee cup so that you don't have to be taking a paper cup, it's all about the small changes and the minute changes so that our lives are still comfortable, but that we are able to reduce the amount of waste that we're producing.